Welcome to Local Matters, featuring the places, events, and people of our South Shore towns. At PAC TV, we're your neighbors who care about and understand your communities because we live here too. I'm Julie Thompson, and let's get started. Historic downtown Plymouth has lots of opportunities for great selfie photos, but the most unique may be the 29 custom scallop shells sponsored by local organizations and painted by local artists. Learn the origin story of this interactive public arts installation from the Plymouth Chamber of Commerce, Icon Polly, the fabricator, and one of the local artists. A poet laureate's role is to elevate poetry in a community's consciousness and to promote its values, history, and traditions through literary arts. The town of Plymouth is excited to appoint its first poet laureate and has mounted a competition that is now down to 4 finalists. Join the poets and poetry lovers at the Plymouth Public Library on February 20th when finalists Stephen Delbos, Robert Knox, Miriam O'Neill, and Tizana Pinchback will perform their original work. The Poet Laureate panel will be judging and selecting the successful nominee, who will read their work at public events for the next 2 years. Doors will open at 6 and readings will take place from 7 to 8:30. For more information, visit the library's website. In February of 1621, the colony of Plymouth established a militia guard to protect themselves from hostilities, consisting of able-bodied men and led by Miles Standish. On February 17th of this year, see history come to life at Pilgrim Hall Museum when the new Plymouth Guard reenactors commemorate this Establishment Day. Reenactors will read from early Plymouth militia rules, conduct a ceremonial election of officers, and conduct pike and musket drills on the museum front steps. It all begins at 10 a.m. Visit the Plymouth 400 website for more details. Experience the Plymouth Plantation as you've never seen it, after hours. Join the Plantation for their Plymouth After Dark series, where you'll be in for a night of 17th century inspired cocktails, crafts, and some learning too. These themed events are on the third Friday of every month and will run through November. On February 21st, the theme is Candles and Cocktails, when you'll enjoy a rose-infused cocktail next to a crackling fire while dipping your own 17th century candles to take home. The night begins at 7 p.m. Visit the Plantation's website for tickets and more information. The Plymouth Farmers Market is a diverse showcase of local musicians and delicious food. From now through May, you can enjoy the best of our local farmers, bakers, and artisans indoors at Plymouth Plantation. The next Farmers Market will take place on February 17th from 2:30 to 6:30 p.m. For more information, visit the Plymouth Farmers Market website. Dogs and people can be best friends, but misunderstanding body language can and does contribute to the 4.5 million dog bites reported each year. To help us understand dog safety and body language, we're happy to welcome on set Kathy Akampora, who's from the Plymouth County 4-H program, and her beautiful dog, Merida. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So talk to me about this program that you run through 4-H.
So it's an outreach program through the 4-H, and the Plymouth County sponsors all of our outreach programs. We bring animals into the classroom. We were reading stories to the kids and talking about animal care.
Yeah.
And I realized there wasn't really a book that said what I wanted to say. So we wrote our first book, and then I noticed children weren't interacting as safely as they should be with dogs. So that's where Please Don't Hug Me
came in.
from.
Okay. So let's talk about safely interacting with dogs. Now, a normal kid might see a dog here and come right up from behind and say, "Hi, doggy." Let's talk about what's safe behavior around dogs.
Okay, well, first they always should ask, because some dogs don't like children. Some dogs aren't used to children, or they could be sick, or the owner could just be busy.
Okay.
So
you ask the owner.
Ask the owner. And
if the dog has no owner with it?
Don't approach a stray dog, because you don't know what's up with that dog.
Okay.
That's the first thing we teach.
Okay.
And then you want to come up about 2 feet away and stand with your hands at your side. Because a lot of people do this.
Yeah.
Well, the dog doesn't really know what you're up to.
Right.
And if you have a dog that's, say, a rescue or has been abused, it's going to be hand shy.
Yep.
So if you stand here, they'll get to know you in a non-threatening way.
Okay.
And then ask the owner, where's the best place to pet them? Some dogs don't like it on the top of their head.
Yeah.
Merida happens to like it. Most dogs will accept it down here first, because that builds their confidence.
Sure.
And then allow you maybe to go to their head.
Okay, now what about when you see the dog's tail wagging, you automatically assume the dog is incredibly happy?
Yes.
Is that a wrong assumption?
It's partially correct. If the tail is high and fast, then the dog is nervous or overexcited.
Okay.
And that could lead to aggression.
Okay.
So I would avoid a dog that the tail is rapidly wagging up over their neutral position.
Okay.
If the tail is between their legs, they're nervous or frightened.
Right.
Again, avoid that dog as well.
Okay. Okay. Now, what about their facial expressions? What can you tell about a dog's mood?
So you can tell an awful lot by their ears, their eyes, and their mouth.
Okay.
So if you look at her ears, they're pointing towards me, they're alert. That's a happy, alert dog.
Okay.
If her ears go back slightly, good mama kiss, good kiss. She's not going to do it. The ears would go back like this gently.
Yeah.
That's kind of a love expression, or relaxed, happy.
Yeah.
Sometimes the ears will turn one forward, one back, like if she heard a noise behind her.
Oh, wow.
That's a sign of alertness.
Yeah.
But if the ears are flat back, turned back around the head, that's aggression. So you want to watch that. And excuse you, Mary. The eyes.
Yeah, now that was very interesting. I'd never heard of this before. Can you explain the whites of their eyes?
Okay, so the whale, it's called a whale eye.
Okay.
And they will show the whites of their eyes when they are giving you a warning. First, they'll look away from you. It's kind of their way of saying, leave me alone. Then they will show you the whites of their eyes. And Mary will do that for you. Mary, eyes. She's doing it for the camera at this point. There we go. Come here. Eyes. Yes. Did you see the whites of the eyes? So she will show the whites of the eyes. She has small eyes, so it's hard to see. But most dogs will really show it if they were angry. Merida, can you sit, please? Sit. Good girl. Good girl. Another thing they'll do is they'll narrow their eyes if they're angry. But a bright eye like this is a happy eye. Yes, it is.
Are you happy?
She is happy.
Girl. Now, what about, I've noticed when there's a dog in a car, kids automatically will go up and rap on the window, or if the window's open, they'll stick their little fingers in.
So I tell them that you wouldn't want a stranger coming up to your car because you're trapped in the car and you can't get away.
Right.
Well, dogs don't like it either. They can't get away from you. It's their space, and they're going to bark at you, and it gives them stress. When a dog is stressed, they're often going to show some signs of stress, such as a big yawn where they show their teeth. Often you'll see children playing with a dog and they'll yawn. Hi. Mary won't do that unless she's stressed. I can't get her to do that on command.
Can you
Mary?
sit? Sit, girl. Good girl.
But they'll also lick their lips. Lick your lips like that. And if they give a tongue flip like that, they're trying to appease themselves. Sometimes they'll lick your hand or their leg or a couch, and that's actually producing endorphins in their brain, so it makes them feel a little better. Okay, you can lie down now.
Now, when the dog shows their teeth, clearly that's aggression.
Yes,
always.
That is. Pretty much always. I mean, we have a dog that's very inappropriate, and he smiles at you. There are dogs that smile.
And show their teeth.
But he looks terrifying. So mostly if the dog is lifting their lip, like this, they're generally a snarl. It's a warning.
Okay.
They'll sometimes show one, we call it a snaggletooth, like that. They'll show that one canine as a warning if you're near their food. Or, and I tell children, just stay away from their food. You wouldn't want people touching your food.
Right.
So don't touch theirs.
Right. Now, another thing that I found fascinating in your what you wrote was that you don't stare at a dog in their eyes the way you do with a human.
Exactly.
I didn't know that. Why not?
Well, it's stress. It's a challenge in dog body language. So when you stare at a dog in their face, the worst thing you could do is this. They can't get away from you. And you see she's kind of looking around like, I'm
what
really
are you doing?
Yeah. Because it's a threat in their language. Yeah.
So if you're looking at a dog, you might just look at them for a second and then look away.
Yeah, well, you can look at them. Just don't
stare
hold
at
their
them.
face and stare right into their eyes.
Now, if a dog is chasing you.
Yes.
Now that, I know kids sometimes will taunt a dog, not intentionally.
Yeah.
But then the dog will come at them and they will hightail it.
Yes. Well, you don't want to run because then you're setting off their prey drive, so they're going to just chase you. That's their instinct, is to chase something that runs.
Yep.
Certain breeds are more prone to that. Like a collie is a herding breed. They're going to nip at your heels thinking you're a sheep. That's instinct. Where terriers chase rats, so they're going to chase.
Yep.
But I tell the kids, if you don't want the dog to bother you, you make yourself really big and still and look away.
Look away from the dog.
Yep.
Don't move. Cross your arms. Just be a statue, basically.
Statue or a tree.
Okay.
So there's a whole campaign, be a tree.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, when kids do get bitten by a dog, what do you do?
Well, first thing they should do is always tell an adult.
Yep.
And if a dog is attacking you, you obviously want to curl and protect your ears, your face, your neck. But you want to tell an adult, and you should contact the owner of the dog.
Yep.
And if it's just a nip, let them know the dog nipped.
Yep.
Or the animal control.
So when a family gets a dog for the first time, what kind of training do you recommend for the dog and for the family?
I recommend that you always take the whole family to the training. And there is trainers everywhere. There's some that come to your house. You could go to stores for training. And everyone in the family should be involved in training, even the little children, because they all need to be on the same page. Okay,
so everyone needs to learn the same things to look for, the same ways to approach the dog.
And the same commands, the same mechanisms of doing things. So, for example, let's say you went sit like this, and somebody else went sit like this. The dog's going to be a little confused and a little conflicted.
Yeah.
And they're not going to be as accurate for you when you train them. And also, if the youngest member of the family doesn't train them, the dog is going to think himself not, I won't say beneath. The dog's going to think he's more important than the little guy.
Than the little kid? Yeah.
So I recommend to families that the youngest members feed.
Feed the dog?
Feed the dog,
okay.
Yes.
What other things should everybody know about dogs?
I think that everybody should know that you need to train your dog, and your dog should definitely have basic manners. It should always come when it's called. It should have a good sit and a good down and an emergency down.
Okay.
Because you never know if that dog leaves the house. You want to be able to yell, down, and the dog will drop so it doesn't get hit by a car.
Okay.
I also recommend that if you get dogs, you touch them all over so they're conditioned to being touched.
Yep.
You're less likely to have someone get bit.
Okay.
So if you get a puppy, when we were training Merida, we would touch her everywhere like this. We would pull her ears and give her a treat.
Yep.
We would touch her behind.
Yep.
We would pull her tail slightly. We would touch her feet.
Yep.
So that the vet she'll allow the vet to do things.
Gotcha.
Every owner, that's a responsibility.
Okay.
You should always train your dog. And it's not just so that your dog will be like this. Mm-hmm. It's so that your family and your friends will be safe.
Now, when the dog rolls over onto its back and puts all four in the air, which they do a lot.
They want a belly rub.
Yeah, they clearly, right? That's your one opportunity to go ahead and rub their belly.
Yep.
Okay.
And if they're sitting on your feet, for example, it means they're very comfortable with you.
Okay.
And they have a good relationship, especially if their back is to you. That's a sign that they're very comfortable, they're very secure around you.
Excellent. All right, any other tidbits?
I have one thing.
Okay.
Whether you adopt a dog or buy from a breeder, make sure you do your homework, because there's a lot of dogs that come into shelters or rescues from different situations. Mm-hmm. Everyone should research what breed would be best for their home. Okay. Because a lot of shelters end up with unwanted dogs because somebody didn't do their research. They saw a cute puppy and they didn't realize it needed an hour of exercise every day. Right. Or that it needed training, or that it had certain characteristics that are normal to the breeds. Yep. And even if it's a mixed breed, mm-hmm. it's going to have some behaviors that the breeds that make him up are inside him. And finally, and I think this should be common sense, but when there's fireworks or really loud noises, mm-hmm. you want to try to protect your dog from that, correct? Exactly, yep. One thing we did with our dogs, it's called Click to Calm, and you can always Google it, but we use this thing called a clicker, and it just is a marker, but it produces endorphins in their brain. You can also use treats and the word yes, which is a marker. And when we knew things were coming up that were scary, we would click and go, yes, good girl, yay. So none of my dogs have ever been afraid of thunder or fireworks or any of that. So there is a way to try to temper that, temper their natural reaction. And I mean, that's something you would do from puppyhood. Right. As once it's already established. Yeah, it's pretty tough to go back. It is easy to train these kind of things, but to get those ingrained behaviors, that take a lot of time. Well, Merida, you have been a wonderful guest. You're a good girl. She's looking at you, not me. Who's this woman talking to me? You want to wave bye? Bye. Merida. Sit. Bye. Sit, Mer. Can you say bye? Say bye. Hi, sweetie. Would you like her to do a trick for you? Sure. All right. Let's end with a trick. Let's do a math problem. Okay. So give me a math problem where the answer is 4 or less. 2 plus 2. What's 2 plus 2? Good girl. Thank you. Very good. Hey, say goodbye. Hey, stand up. Oh, she doesn't. Nope. She's near the edge. Stand up, Mary. Okay. Yeah, and to give Mary a break here, dogs usually are not up on a platform. Yes. So the dog is used to actually being on the ground. Well, and it's blackness here, so in her eyes, dogs don't see red very well, and or actually they see red. They don't see the green. So to her, this is kind of a mottled color, mm-hmm. and there's black. So she doesn't know what's down here. Yeah. Okay, all right. Well, Kathy, thank you so much. Thank you. And if people need more information about this program, where would they go? They can contact the Plymouth County Extension 4-H. Okay. You want the number? Sure. 774-404-7020. Excellent. Well, thank you very much. And thank you, Merida. Goodbye, sweetie. Bye-bye. Say goodbye. Bye-bye.
In the spring of 1973, 5 Tufts University graduates got together for lunch at a Chinese restaurant and discovered a mutual love of harmony and song. The resulting a cappella group, named Peking and the Mystics, has since toured internationally and appeared on both television and radio. And they're coming to Duxbury. On February 9th at 1 p.m., come hear Peking and the Mystics sing a wide range of both popular music and original tunes. This free event is brought to you by the Friends of the Duxbury Free Library. Registration is required and it can be done via the library's website. Meditation cultivates a positive mindset that expands happiness. On February 13th at 9:30 a.m., the Duxbury Senior Center offers Heart Connections, a special meditation program that will be sure to open your heart and help you live your life with intention. To sign up, call the Duxbury Senior Center. Does your child need a little extra help with homework? The Duxbury Free Library's Homework Buddies program is here to help. On February 10th from 3 to 4, student volunteers from Duxbury High School's National Honor Society will be on hand to help your students shine. For more information, visit the library's website. Duxbury Girl Scout Troop needs your help. For 9 years, the Scouts have been supporting the spirits and the appetites of our deployed military troops by sending them Girl Scout cookies. They're at it again this year, and they're accepting donations of cookies or cash for cookies to send to our troops. Email Joan Reiser at the Duxbury Girl Scouts to be a part of it all. Donations will be accepted until March 13th. Looking to make your child's playtime more educational? Every Monday, the South Shore Children's Museum invites parents and kids to experience hands-on playtime in the areas of science, technology, engineering, and math, also known as STEM. It's a great opportunity to instill exploration and inquiry at an early age. The playgroup begins at 11 a.m. Visit the museum's website for more information. Valentine's Day doesn't have to end on the 14th. On February 18th, enjoy a Valentine's-themed lunch at the Kingston COA, followed by a dance performance by the dance company of the Carver Dance Center. Lunch begins at 11:30 a.m. Registration is required by February 11th. To sign up, visit or call the Kingston COA. Calling all grandparents, parents, and kids, Pazingo is back by popular demand. On February 19th at 12:30, kids ages 1 to 100 will have the chance to play bingo for book and toy prizes. Pizza and drinks will be available. To register, visit the Kingston Recreation Department website. Could you use a little financial advice? On Monday, February 10th, join Rockland Trust Branch Manager Gail DeGrenier as she provides insight on how you can meet your goals through financial planning. The workshop begins at 6:30 at the Adams Center. For questions, contact Alvin Ely. Social Security is a social insurance program consisting of retirement, disability, and survivor's benefits. But do you know how it all got started? Watch this.
Social Security serves as the primary income for an estimated 42 million retired workers in the United States. But do you know how it got its start? The stock market crash of 1929 triggered the Great Depression, the worst economic downturn in the history of the industrialized world. All populations were dramatically affected, particularly the elderly. By 1935, 50% of seniors in America suffered extreme poverty. Newly elected President Franklin D. Roosevelt was looking for a solution and was inspired by Europe's welfare system. He proposed a program in which workers secured their own future economic security by contributing a portion of their income through payroll tax deductions. This means that each working generation funds current retirees' monthly income and are in turn likewise funded in their senior years. This concept was expanded to also include unemployed and disadvantaged Americans, and the Social Security Act was signed into law in 1935. The first person to receive monthly Social Security benefits was one Ida Mae Fuller of Ludlow, Vermont, a legal secretary who retired in 1939 and collected her first check in 1940 at the age of 65. This very first check was for $22.54, $414 in today's prices. Fun fact, Ida lived to be 100 years old. Fast forward to modern times. If you were born after 1929, you need to work at least 10 years to become eligible for Social Security. A person making $40,000 a year will pay 6.2% of their wages, or $2,500 yearly in Social Security taxes. That number is matched by your employer. The size of your Social Security check upon retirement will be based on your income from your working years, the year you were born, and your age when you start to take benefits. Most people start at the age of 62. For more information on how much you'll receive And for other important information, visit the Social Security Administration's website at ssa.gov. Social Security. Now you're in the know.
Join the Snow Sisters at the Pembroke Public Library on February 9th for an interactive children's story time with songs. Stick around after for a meet and greet and photo op with the Snow Sisters and Babette from the Massasoit Company's production of Beauty and the Beast. Costumes aren't required, but they are welcome. To pick up tickets for this free event, visit the Pembroke Public Library Youth Desk. Bird watching enthusiasts are in luck. The South Shore Bird Club is hosting a full day of exploring, starting in the thickets of Marshfield and moving to the coastline from Scituate to Plymouth. Together you'll search ponds of the South Shore for wintering ducks and end the day hoping for owls. The adventure begins at 7:30 a.m. on February 9th. The meeting spot is the Pembroke Stop and Shop. Email the South Shore Bird Club for more details. Looking for an activity that is fun, free, and crafty? Join the Pembroke Public Library on February 12th for Adult Craft Night, where you'll create a unique hand-sewn greeting card for your Valentine. Supplies will be provided. Space is limited, so call the main desk to reserve your seat. 2020 marks 100 years since American women were granted the right to vote. Celebrate the history and import of the 19th Amendment by attending actress Cheryl Fay's one-woman show about Susan B. Anthony, a prominent figure in the suffrage movement. Showtime is at 10:30 a.m. on February 18th at the Pembroke Council on Aging. Contact the COA for more information. On February 15th, attend a great game for a great cause. The Great Blizzards will face off against the Boston Bruins alumni team at the Gallo Arena. All funds raised will go to the Great Blitz, a nonprofit hockey team for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. The game kicks off at 1 p.m. For tickets, visit the team's Eventbrite page. Local Matters is a production of the local scene of PAC TV. If you'd like to watch this show again or explore other community stories, subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Local Scene. Follow us on Instagram and like us on Facebook to keep updated on new content and the ways that we shine a light on you. From all of us at PAC TV, we'll see you next time.